Good morning, Phil Thatch here, and today I am at Watts Bar Dam, which is over there. I think you should be able to see that in the frame, maybe. And it's early March, maybe one week into March, and about this time last year, tipped off by a great photographer, Roger Ashley, I came up here and saw lots and lots of bald eagles, mostly juveniles, but still lots and lots of bald eagles. That's the Watts Bar nuclear plant over there, also right here. But this year, not so much. I even actually saw Roger this morning for just a moment, and you could tell not much was going on because he wasn't even out of his truck. So not much happening. I do see a cormorant flying right over there, and I've seen a couple of osprey, but that's about it. There's a trail kind of right over there that I walked up, and I did get a picture of a yellow-bellied sapsucker. I don't know if it's any good or not, but if it is, I'll share it with you here in a minute. But not much happening here, so I'm going to go look elsewhere, and if I find some stuff, I guess this will be a video. If not, I guess this won't, because one yellow-bellied sapsucker picture does not a video make. There's the yellow-bellied sapsucker I was talking about, and here's a pretty good sign that spring is on the way. And holy crap, what in the world is that I have found? I just finished making a video just a moment ago where I said if I don't find anything else, this video will probably be over. Well, I found something else. It's a pileated woodpecker carving out a nesting cavity. I came to the other side of the dam and looked around a little bit, and I found another sapsucker, and I stopped the car and got out to try to get a picture of it, and then I heard clank, clank, clank in the background, and that's how I found this guy. Shooting with the Z6. This is 1/60th of a second, 30 frames per second, ISO 100, and f/14. I've put the 500 f4 and the 1.4 teleconverter on, and I did the 1.5 crop. So I'm filling the frame with the Holy Grail, pileated woodpecker. No shortage of gulls around here. For the most part, the gulls would just kind of sit and chill, but a couple of times they flew off and I was able to capture them all in the air once. There was a street sweeper that was near my location, and as it gets closer you can hear it getting louder and louder, and eventually it spooked her. I concentrated mostly on video, but here is a still. Coming here to a different location near Watts Bar Dam was definitely a good call. I think you probably all know from watching my previous videos, or maybe you don't, Pileated woodpecker is the holy grail bird to me. As a matter of fact, while I was making video of it up there in the tree, a juvenile bald eagle flew by, and I didn't even consider changing where my camera was aimed. And I think if you listen closely, you might be able to hear kind of a street sweeper truck in the background, and that came down near where I'm parked and spooked the woodpecker. So I'm glad I shot it for a pretty good long time, so got some video for you and for me. Now let's go someplace else and see what we can find. I've gone to a third location now. This is a boat ramp that's a little bit further downriver from the dam than I was at my first location. The second location was on the upriver side of Watts Bar Dam. This boat ramp is almost directly across from the cooling towers of the power plant there, and I came down here and I switched lenses. I've decided to make a landscape type picture of this tree, and as soon as I got my big lens off the camera, I saw an adult bald eagle in a tree right over there. Kind of would have been hard to get a picture of it, but it was over there. So I'm going to show you what I'm working on here. I'm going for a vertical composition of this tree with the cooling towers directly adjacent it, with it directly in the center of the cooling towers. And you know, there's lots of rain been around the East Tennessee area, so the water is crazy high, way higher than it should be right now. I'm using my 24-70 f2.8. Looks like I'm at somewhere between 28 and 35, closer to 35 millimeters. And I've put a, probably can't even see that, but I've put a 10-stop neutral density filter on. And let's see what my settings ended up being. I'm at f11, ISO 100, and it looks like I'm going to try a 15-second exposure. And I'm going to use my 10-second timer so the camera is good and settled down. But that's the plan, and hopefully that exposure will settle down that water a little bit and make the steam coming out of the cooling towers look good. So I'll work on that and maybe show it to you in a minute. I'm going to do one more. This time I'm increasing the exposure to 30 seconds and closing the aperture to f16 to try to really smooth the water out. I don't think f16 is the best place on this lens for photography, but I needed to close it down that much on this bright sunny day to get the longer exposure. But hopefully this will turn out pretty good. I'm happy about the composition, if nothing else. I ended up being happier with the 30-second version than the 15-second version, and here it is scrolling down and back up. Pretty pleased with this. Landscape photography is not my best area, and I'm no Thomas Heaton or Adam Gibbs, but I'm trying to get better at it, and I really like this one a lot. I hope you do too. I think I'm going to call it a morning from the general area of Watts Bar Dam. I've been to 3 locations and saw some pretty cool stuff. Got to see a pileated woodpecker, which is always great, and got one landscape picture, so that's not a bad morning. And tonight I'm going to photograph tennis, so I need to rest up for that a little bit. Or actually, I guess I should say this afternoon. It's already afternoon, but later this afternoon I got to do tennis. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. If you like this video, take a second and hit the subscribe button. That would really help me out a bunch. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.